realized I need to move this. Oops. Hope everyone's having a beautiful day still. It rains pretty much for the most part. Some slight discussion about hitting Blue Heron tonight, but the weekend's so close, so I might just start preparing for that, because then I could get there early to have an entire day. Not really, the inflatable paddleboard, really ideal for especially the inlets, bouncing around the sandbars, all the rock piles, and good luck if they're the drone up and find even more rock piles that aren't in the no spear no take zone, even though I don't plan on really spearfishing. For lionfish, yes, and I have a few ideas as far as like things to make to put them in, because they're really spiny. Really intense fish. I haven't seen any in a few days, but they're there. And finally did find some videos of them swimming, and they dart. They swim pretty quick, but it's when they're hunting that they can't see behind them or above them, and then when they're all fanned out. Really easy poke-ins. And I really don't want to get stung, or anybody else to get stung. I'm thinking of PVC pipe with chicken wire on the inside, and mesh, maybe, probably all three, and maybe the bottom, like it will stay upright via buoy, but it'll be weighted, so it'll just stay. And just have so much PVC pipe, so my mind always goes to PVC first, and it's waterproof. But that's for the future. It's lobster season, and I did go ahead and get my permit. Just have them printed out, and the little tool you need. The spiny lobster down here don't have those front claws, so a little less terrifying, I'm sure. And I don't know if people dive for lobsters in no lobster traps. I never really thought about that actually, so I should look that up. Lobster. I was watching this underwater. Yeah, that's crazy. I looked suited up for it. That's so cool. Never really thought about it. But our lobster are quite beautiful, and they are darn delicious. Really clean and buttery, I guess is a good way to describe them. I have a few like areas picked out, trying to stay organized, and they're just charts from NOAA. No, I don't know if it's called NOAA. But I guess it would. I don't know. But this is the area. So Goliath grouper are all in here. I don't want to catch one, but it's a long time dream to swim with one. And what do you even do? That's Peanut Island. And all sandbar here. Really nice spot. The swimming is excellent. Potatoes, British, and Jupiter is really nice. It was just, the water was so good there. But under Blue Heron Bridge, it's just, you gotta hit the tide right though, because as soon as that tide turns, gelatinous masses start marching your way. You think it's indistinguishable from anything that I could ID, and it's doo-doo brown. It's really, really gnarly. So you just gotta time it right, or just like go for another purpose. There's so much to do there, and a lot to see. And there's way more than Phil Foster. And to be honest, like my favorite spots there are under the bridges and the modules is what they call them. Like a lot of boats. There's also shopping carts. I don't know why. Maybe it's just, I think that's so funny. It's so funny. Shopping carts. It's on the plaque, like the information on the plaque. Shopping carts. We go diving this Saturday and look at the shopping carts. I get cinder blocks. It's just, I don't know why I get quite a kick out of that. From afar, they kind of look like crab traps or some form of traps. Nope, shopping carts. And I'm trying to actually volunteer. I've called a few times, but they're probably very busy, and I haven't heard back yet. But fingers crossed. I don't want to drive them nuts. But I'm more than happy to plant some coral. I'd love to learn how to do that. I haven't really been. I've been just growing what I have, but I haven't been starting a lot of plants. And Stefan, who sent long ago the dragon fruits are all growing so intensely. Like one didn't even grow a second, like, I don't know if you would call it a petal, a branch maybe. And I already had a flower on it. Really, really nuts. But it's like, this shirt I actually just made. Well, I didn't make it. It was a bag. It's from Resource Depot, which is a craft store, my favorite craft store I've never been to. It's a place you fill a bucket, and just it's a miscellaneous craft supplies and second hands and stuff. It's really neat. But it's in between that and Jupiter. Trying to find some good old lobster, because it's a few months of it, but it's something I'm really excited about. And there's also just stuff that I need to keep refreshing on, because I can ID quite a few fish, but for some reason when I catch something, it's just the hesitation of not knowing, and my phone is useless. Google finally admitted that their, well, I don't know, their cell tower in Lake Worth or Palm Beach County is being investigated, and to change cell phone carriers, but I have everything attached to it, and I'm already like really disorganized as far as like saved pictures and stuff, and I just know I'll lose like a lot trying to readjust, so just suffering through that. But I went 5 years without a cell phone once. I could do it again. Well, I tried to. It just sucks not being able to stream, because a lot of these spots works perfectly fine, but something happened, I guess. Here they are. Jupiter Inlet has a ton of waterways. Like, I printed them in black and white, but there's so many canals and stuff. And I did start reading about fly fishing in Florida, because that's something I've always wanted to give a go. It looks very, like, constant, and I like keeping things, moving for something to do, and, yeah, pulled up a few, well, a lane snapper, but it was under, well, pulled up a puffer, which, I don't know how, I have to watch something on it. Okay, like, there's so much down there that is fresher and cleaner than anything possible, and you get to choose exactly, and it's not being caught in nets with dolphin and turtles, so I hear like people who say like I don't know how, and I don't know, there is no real like decent available food anywhere, at least that I can find. there are a few good seafood markets, but it's quite expensive, and so you just have to kind of like, get it, very close to the coast, very close to the Gulf Stream, so there's a lot in these waters, and I really love showing this. This is a clear point, and I'm sure in your area there's rainbows and nutrient-dense food also. But look at this menu. Granted, there's a few things on here that, oh, hello Trevor, 76. Yeah, a bunch of different types of waterways here in Florida, because there's not only springs in the ocean, in the Gulf, there's canals. All the canals near me, unfortunately, they're fun to fish, but I kept hooking turtles, and that just didn't feel great. Hogfish, too. I think I am a little too attached to hogfish. They're my favorite to find swimming and just watch. I think they remind me of Blue, which is understandable because he was a pig, but they're so, and I always just see them by themselves. All different colors, not a single one has looked the same yet. And if I know where my camera is, I'm sure you can actually see. Because I think I got the last thing that yeah. I didn't have fins, so it's really difficult. I always feel bad when I scare them. But really beautiful. And this was late in the afternoon. Hello, NK. Nice starfish. I didn't have fins, and some of these are like completely accidental because my main focus was fishing. A lot of sand perch, a lot of different forms of sea urchins, a lot of sand perch. Oh, this is Cato's. I do. Oh yeah, manatee swim right by. I went down to film a crab, and I came back up, or went back down after coming back up, and there's a crab. Here's the, manatee. Here's the crab. I haven't seen it. There's just some sea grapes underwater. A bunch of sand perch. These are delicious also. They make a really good salsa, kinds of stuff. Yeah. There is a nook in between the walls that you can swim through. Or, like, this is under a bridge. Let's see. I think it's this one. I grew up here on the southeast coast of Florida. Oh, look at that big ball. And I've always just been in, out, on, or near the ocean. But just something snapped, and I was trying to fully dedicate myself to keep it fresh food in the fridge and fishing line out of the water. Actually, saving up to do I'm gonna sound like an idiot, but not-for-profit LLC, because I'm really trying to do this full time. Really nice water. Cato's Bridge. It's too funny. There's a bunch of kids jumping off of it, and every so often the cop had to come back to remind people to not jump off the bridge. Yeah, there's a really strong current. But night and day difference, life-wise, being able to film these spots, because usually it's just a place you get to experience, and like it's hard to describe some things. And I haven't really filtered through these. I usually go ahead and remove all the blurry ones. Oh, it's hard to stay still. Nice parrotfish. What is it? No, I think that's before I discovered. Oh, random couch also. Nice rocks. There's so many scallops here. Oh yeah, this is inside the lighthouse. Thank you. And I have a ton I gotta post. I'm trying to get shots of specific things, and like Pokemon, if you will. Gotta capture them all, because it changes like quite frequently. I really like going on forums and reading what people have seen, like what people would see there in the 70s, 80s. Most people I talk to about old Florida have been here throughout the 80s and on to today. So I have a lot of spots picked out in the chart, because there's old boilers down there. It's the old, like, original Coast Guard station. And here is 1 and 2. So I would probably do like here, and then go here, and then enjoy all this, because this is the deepest excuse me, this is the deepest water in the whole area. Huge cruise ships go through here and turn around and do their thing, and are docked Port Palm Beach. This is all, as you can see, this is all sandbars. Like, you could do cartwheels on it. It's quite fun. Last time we were there, I took the paddleboard over, but only went to, I believe, here, and there was just someone with a paddleboard and the biggest parrot I've ever seen named Mango. It was quite, and a lot of houseboats, and dream home easily is like here. I mean, here, sure, but like really here. really sweet area. And to the north, there's all this grass. Probably like and one thing I noticed is all different like the babies. Tons of babies here, but right here there's a ton of adult sand perch, huge ones. Why is it that every time I start a stream I'm like overcome by hunger? I think it's literally talking about fishing, because I'm a fan of seafood. I really do. Like, it used to be so easy to get local seafood, and other than sushi bon, like, everywhere has gotten wild. And Publix doesn't even have a single Florida cat in their seafood section. And the only Florida seafood that I could find was in the bait freezer. So it's become actually kind of vital too. Well, not actually, it's become pretty vital. And it's wild what you can catch, like, off of the jetty, which is just from there north, I guess. But I had 3 snap. They weren't the right size, but you will get one eventually. But 3, like within a half hour, which was you know, there's a lot out there, and scallops are in fact on this coast. Yes. I know they were on the Gulf, which is one of the reasons I really want to go to the Gulf, is scallops. Not only are the shells beautiful, but they're like sea marshmallows or something. Nutrient-dense sea marshmallows. And blue crab, soft shell, well, the soft shell crab is blue crab, but stone crab and shrimp and an unspeakable amount of fish. It's wild. And a lot of them are sushi grade, so, or not sushi grade, but like I guess they would all be sushi grade, but some are just like blackfin tuna does not come quite up to the close, so I'm sure there's ways to get. There's so much. And at the store, supermarket, there's nothing. And yeah, so full on in full force. I haven't really made anything, and plants are all doing gorgeous. A lot of rain, and they're, you know, potted decently. So plants are good. I have to get out there and do some weeding though, especially when the weather is like this. I do like swimming weather when I'm outside, if there's minimum lightning, you know. Lightning sometimes has me hiding under tables, because some pretty spectacular bolts, I guess. Wow, that would be an interesting thing a camera that goes off at, well, it would have to be pointing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I think I am overcome by hunger. I just want to pop on because, I don't know. I am trying to find any bit of tips and advice also from other people's experience in any type of water, because now there is freshwater fishing right across, and all the fish kind of look the same, which I get a kick out of, which would be good practice for IDing, like for instance, on the FWC site, and the fish, that they stock the water holes with, I don't know what to call them, lakes, ponds, it's swamp, and is spotted sunfish, which looks very similar to warmouth fish, bluegill, and there was something else. Sunfish, sunfish. I don't know, but it's this one cracks up. Very different sizes, and like specific markings, but like they definitely are all related. Oh, maybe not. I don't know, but cute fish, little chubby fish. I'm really excited for that though, because I never did any fly fishing, and I don't have a fly rod currently, but I figured like could figure something out. And they do still sell bamboo rods at some places, and or cane rods, maybe that's it. But I really do like the idea of using some of the lures I have, because from what I'm told that they're all freshwater, but also I don't really think it. I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but I think it's fun to play around with everything down in there. The treble hooks though, I don't know full, like, every law around them, I guess, because aren't they snag hooks? I have no idea. All I know is I snag the shit out of myself every single time. I get the hook out, I haven't used them since I was a kid, and but I got that out, and then it was just every time just stick myself or re-stick the fish, and when I found this with my grandpa. A total torpedo. Devil's horse. But, like, you know what I mean? Like, grab the hook out and it, like, swings back. I also had much smaller hands, but because that's what everyone uses, like those types of things. And on a boat was always 3 hooks connected. Forgot what they're called, but I think they always called them trolling hooks. But when I looked it up, it didn't come up. That's just like what I hear. My dad and his friends are the extent of my fishing experience, and with a little recreational fishing, but I always went out with my dad, and always went out. All of his friends have it does look pretty sweet. A lot of mosquitoes, and like during the winter months it's drier, so not as much water. They recommend the rainy months, tons of mosquitoes. That looks really nice. Fresh water, because the pond on the street is right next to a farm, and you just know that that's going to be full of all kinds of things. And again, I need to like learn more about freshwater stuff. I do know that it's like absolutely illegal or prohibited to spear any form of freshwater species, and that's pretty much all I know thus far, and that's why I value this system, because you learn something new out loud. You never know what really valuable and vital advice you're into. They're so similar. And it's like the depictions, you know, a lot of them are essentially watercolor renderings and I feel like I get the gist until I see it in person, and always hesitate on certainty. They're the cutest looking things, though. They really are. And some of them have like that kind of like mohawk that boars have, where they'll be extra spiny. Nice colors, all of that. Oh, what is a bream? Okay, so a bream is just a bluegrass. Oh, it did have blue, like, bluish tint. I didn't look at the gills. Really interesting. I had the thought, like, how do you know if it's, like, because some of the species look very similar, but, like, totally different sizes. And I wonder if there's any overlap, like, a baby this or a legal this. I don't know. I haven't run into that issue yet, but every time I pull something out of the water, it's just the uncertainty is me. And I just try to get the fish in the water as soon as possible. I try to keep my phone so I can at least get a picture, especially if it's something I don't know or I'm not certain of, because then I can ID it and then singe it into my memory. But sometimes I would say, dang it, I wish I took a picture instead. Green kind of looks like, say, like a Mojara a little bit. They all have like, it's just like plants, or like a leaf will look like leaf on another thing. Or I think it's also a way to remember little things. There's like tail, fins, and face shape is what is like the first three things I try to, because it's a lot. There are so many species and so many variations within the species that there's a saltwater hybrid species. Well, ooh. Oh, there's just so much. I'm very hungry. Literally and spiritually. There was something quite large sloshing around, and then when I first got to the edge, just looked down before the sun went down. Huge barracuda, the biggest one I've seen at Blue Heron yet, and huge, and like it looked like a torpedo. They're probably my favorite to look at, and because they could sit motionless, and they already have such like there if they would make an excellent cartoon character if they're just barracudas. And it's the Great Barracuda here. I think that's what they call it. And I got good corn. Their faces. And their teeth. I wish I brought that head back because then, I mean, it would have been a skeleton or a skull by now, and could really look at the teeth. I didn't know. I've seen teeth from pictures, not really in person because their mouths are always like, and never like close enough to see their teeth, and they're quite small. The blue hair, and that's why it surprises you, such a big boy, all the way at the end. So I'm really excited to hit the end next because I feel like, yeah, make it just bigger down there. And the barracuda are really smart. They all hang out under the pier. So the teeth, and in the gum line, and they're fast as shit. They're fast as shit. Don't wear anything shiny down here, please. They're fast as shit. And so in their like gum line, there's all these tiny little razor teeth, like tiny little ones, uniform. And I did post a video of a barracuda. The barracuda head I wish I grabbed, and they're like torpedoes. So this is what you'll usually see. And in some spots, you'll get to see babies too, which they're very tiny, very, very cute. But they're like actual torpedoes. It's like if in the freaking 40s or 50s, like, they painted actual torpedoes to look like fish. It's wild looking. And they'll sit there motionless. I do want to, and there is a species that travels in schools. We have the socially awkward ones, but you do see groups of them. Not too long ago, I think like a week or two ago, there was a little too many, and they all like turn. They're wild. Huge. That's not big. Largest barracuda possible. I guess it's kind of hard to decipher size of the fish underwater because it's like, what do you go off of? Is there a barracuda character in SpongeBob at all? That is. Barracuda. And they have really messy teeth. They're like, I mean, yeah. And they're fast. Eels are really intense too, and we do have moray eels and spotted eels. Probably a bunch more, but those are the two that, well, no, I haven't seen a green one yet. Don't think. Code Lock got a really wild video. Makes your heart race, honestly, because they're really intense. They're one of the reasons why I'm trying to figure out a way to make kind of like an underwater reciprocal that you don't swim with for spearfish and lionfish, because I really do want to try them, and they're an issue here, and still. But they're delicious, so win-win, and you don't have to worry about being 100% that it's something that you can keep, because I feel like that's another hang up I have, is like I have too much hesitation with IDing fish right now, so can't imagine spearfishing yet. And unless we're lionfish, and lobster you just grab, so I'm happy with that. I just need a little food, but food. And I really want to go to Boynton Inlet because someone told, what was I gonna look up? The shrimp get pulled out of the inlet during when the tide's going out, and you just shine your light and dip net them, and that's food and bait, and it's just so, I wish I seen it sooner, I guess. Rather than like dilly-dallying in the freaking tulips and trees. I'm just kidding, I don't know tulips, but it's, I don't know if they grow here. I think they do like seasonally, because I feel like, I don't know. Anyway, the ocean has literally everything I could possibly need for optimal survival, in my opinion. Seafood, you kidding me? And the great outdoors, the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf Stream. So whatever I can do, I hope she puts me to work, is all I can say. I'm very excited. Eel. Oh, there's a fresh one here? Isn't that the... Eels are another one that have like really intense teeth, but in another way. So, the movie Alien, how when you like, the alien, I guess, opens his mouth and like a little mouth comes out, eels. So eels' teeth, already a mess. But they have another set of jaws, toothed jaws in the back, so when they bite something, those come out and pull it in, and they can like wild. They're really, really neat, terrifying. And they rob spearfishermen. I mean, I feel like they'd rob anybody, but... And they're really smart and they'll remember you. People have built friendships. But those are the ones we have here, the moray eel. A bunch of other like really pretty ones. The spotted eel. There was one that lived in a pipe. He hasn't been there in quite some time. And if you see one and it's like still and with his mouth open, it's just breathing assessing if you're a threat or not. Like a dog sniffing. Spotted eel. So you'd zoom down and it would just be like a guy that looks just like this, sticking out of the pipe with his mouth open. Because in that section, divers are going by the whole time, so he's just probably watching divers go by all day. Really intelligent. And, haven't seen an octopus yet, but I got really close. But by the time I got, like, my mask and everything, it's gone. A bunch of other people saw it, which is sweet, so that's the closest yet. But I'm really excited to, that's like, that and a Goliath grouper. For some reason, those are two things I've never run into. I've seen squid and cuttlefish, and just not an octopus. And the only seahorse that I've seen were like very, very small in clumps of seaweed. Because it's always neat to pick up a massive clump. You'll see it's a bunch of tiny fish, like the baby versions of all the fish you know and love. And really cool. And little crabs, translucent shrimp, and a bunch of neat things. And the shells, of course, so all those creatures are somewhere. And starfish, the amount of starfish that are under blue herring bridge is absolutely surreal. And the colors. Just hit that tide rate. An hour before high tide, you'll be in paradise. So 2 hours before high tide to ensure you have parking before tide hits. Fish scary. Well, there's... Oh shit, no, yeah. Please do. Because, I was on there and I still want to, I know it's cheesy as all hell, but a podcast through COD, is it to be a CODcast, and I'm almost tired. But, I think it's like an ideal thing, and it's done. I can't get anyone on at the same time though, everyone's on different schedules, to the extent of global time differences. But, yeah, I want to get that eventually. Because anything that goes on the internet is forever. That's a time capsule, if I've ever heard of it. But I think it's sandwich time. I'm trying to bulk up a little bit so cold water doesn't affect me as much as it usually does. Because I like 80 degrees, but that's not sustainable. And, the different species roll through at different times of year, and I really want to get them all and see them all, because swimming up and down the coast, perfect for shells, like really nice, like almost polished shells. Inlet shells are usually quite brittle, and just, I don't know if they're younger or older, because the ones, could demonstrate, I'm sure. Anyway, and the rocks do hold a lot of life, and you'll see a lot of the fish just swimming up and down the coast, but the amount is just condensed to such an extent that you're going to be seeing multiple, you know, if nature's your thing, and if you like marine animals, it's incredible. Well, got a bunch of pictures of sea turtle, and not last night but the night before, fishing from the pier, saw the sea turtle breach for a second, and so always really careful with those. It's another thing too, you could fish from the seawall. So you're right there. I'm really excited for the weekend because it's back open, and a sewage pipe leaked or bursted. I'm not sure exactly what happens, I'm not sure how to describe what happened, but it's closed for a while, and apparently it is leaking or bursted for a while, and no one wants to say anything. It's like the jaws of poo. But just starts us back, and it's nothing like a little immune shock boost. It's just that when the tide changes, see, what was interesting to me this week was Cater's Bridge. When the tide shifted, it stayed blue, true, like beautiful blue, and maybe because I don't know. There has to be a reason. And same thing with under the East Bridge at that area holds that blue for a little longer. Because it will be turquoise, crystal clear, high visibility, like high visibility. And then it'll get like greenish yellow, brown. Gelatinous masses. Someone has to be like rearranging their sewage pipes eventually because it holds so much. It's pretty wild. I can't imagine what the lagoon used to look like. I really don't know actually. Some things were freshwater and really interesting. Going from just being like walking past things because it's hard to notice the details of the place you were born sometimes. And like I try my best to notice all the little things. But that's why I think I'm always so self-content because like I really like noticing the little things. And there's a lot of different decades of architecture, and especially the coastal towns with all the little, just the buildings are just so quaint, and a lot of neat businesses, and the wildest conversations you will either walk past or engage in, and it's just, well, it's always good. Like, in the real aspects, like, the whole, like, I feel like you could be going to shop, but I feel like you're, like, if you, you would notice the, I don't know, because we live ones that we know of, and, it's always been enough to be like, well, I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of it. Even just throwing a log on its side and seeing everything that's underneath it. There's so much. And, yeah. There are a lot of stingy things down there. Oh, that's what those are supposed to look like. That's funny. Maybe. I've seen that coloring in lures before. Speckled eel. But a baby. I did print out the glossary for charts because the internet is too vast, and I always end up on an unrelated path. So, or watching videos, or listening to music. So, I just printed it out because then I can do this outside where my phone doesn't work at all. I could focus more because I just want to get through basic terminology. So that's step one in any, even hobby, like even crafting. It's good to look at terminology because there is a word for everything, and a lot of times it's already compiled by people who come before. So. And the internet, that's all compounded, and there's so many, like, I came to just, at least start with the basics, and I think I have one tab open for that, and like 18 for various other things. So I'm trying to find hard copy books of things. Hello, Walter. I always, sometimes, there's words that I have only read and haven't said out loud that I don't know how to pronounce, but sometimes there's things I just don't know. But perhaps it'll be for sure. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I'm really excited. Last night, There's just so many, and the squid stays on the hook. So like, you keep casting next to the pylons, and pull away, create that sense of urgency, and feel those bites, baby. I'm more than happy to do so, and if only I could become efficient enough that I am bringing a bunch of stuff, because yeah, some things only have one per day per harvester, so that's why you started getting, no, just ideas, but more the merrier for you, and but that's why I really want to learn to ID every fish, especially the unregulated fish. I could read it right from the regulations. This says it better than I can. So, where does it say it? I know it says it somewhere. Okay, anyway, I don't know where it says it. So, 99 pounds or 2 fish. 99 pounds or 2 fish. Shoot. See, this is why I need, like, I'm sure there are classes, and I'm sure I can't afford them, because I feel like that's so niche. YouTube, I've been forcing myself through longer form content, because then I don't touch the freaking device. My pea-sized brain can't handle it, apparently. Okay, here it is. Right. Florida's coastal waters are home to thousands of marine species, and the majority of these species have no specific regulations with regards to bag limits, size limits, gear restrictions, or closed seasons. These species are often referred to as unregulated species, although the name can be a bit misleading. State law provides that any marine species that does not have a specific regulation harvesting more than 100 pounds or 2 fish, whichever is the greater amount, constitutes a commercial quantity and requires a commercial license. I haven't talked this much in a few days. This means the recreational harvest limit of any unregulated species is 100 pounds or 2 organisms if the combined weight of the 2 organisms exceeds 100 pounds. So, I'm guessing that means like you could get 2 90-pound fish or 100 pounds of fish. Like, no, I don't know that part, but you see what I mean. Ladyfish, bonito, menhaden, or men. That's some example of things that I've all read or wrote down. I have no idea how they're pronounced. White grunt, not that one. No stingrays. Kingfish, pinfish, Atlantic croaker, jack crevalle, cerro, mackerel, hardhead catfish, gaff top sail catfish, and lionfish. There is a catfish that is venomous. Gaff topsail. Okay, so that makes sense. Gaff topsail. Like a gaff. So, has a venomous spine. Really intense stuff. The boat ramps are always full of boat ramps and near restaurants that, are on the water. Gaff top sail catfish. brutal, I'm sure. I'm seriously hungry. So I've been like eating sandwiches and just simplifying life completely, and even down to clothes. Not really because it's really hard to keep getting stains, like especially out and about and like doing things that are outdoors. And so I've been trying to even learn like of engineered clothes, if you will, for this given area. And I found a brand called Little Donkey Andy that has a lot of waterproof stuff. It is Florida. And for the winter, I have no idea how to dress for the winter, but I don't plan on stopping. Even though you can't swim, you can always fish, and you always have to eat. And again, there's quite a lot, and plants to go with it, rather than, I think I wore myself out a little bit, honestly, but that's the funnel I needed to like squeeze myself through, if you will, to get back in the water, because blue, it's just, life is really short, and you live once that you know of, and I've never been unhappy on the water, and there's so much there, and I feel like stuff like that might not keep you alive, but it'll keep you happy to do so. So anyway, happy shows. I have simplified to the extent of like bread, random meat, butter. Yeah, just a loaf, and you could do random things with that loaf. Pistachio butter is pretty sweet, but that can take it away. Peanut butter and jelly, pastrami and butter, chicken and butter, ham and butter. Not for real. And I just made a bunch of those in my mind, and easy peas. Pretty much exactly what I don't know. Food security is really important, and so is time, and I really enjoy it to keep moving, and I like the simplest things, and I don't know why I was complicating life so much, but filling it with all kinds of other things, which I love crafting and stuff like that, but I really need to, I don't know. It's not feeling very creative, I don't know. It's hard to feel alive, like hunched over a desk, bending wire, so I just lost my taste for anything, and, yeah, I don't know why I keep talking about that. Anyway, happy trails. Is that, why was I just gonna say it? Okay. Catfish is good. Catfish is so good. I really need to get on that. There's so many freaking directions as far as what you can fish or acquire, food acquisition. Genuine. And like, well, pulled up a puffer. I pulled up a few snapper, and there's something else. I don't know. I was trying to train my eyes for the night, because I really do like night fishing. I'm so freaking night blind, but the amount of catfish there, so if you have recipes, I got ears and eyes, and a memory for the delicious, because the ladyfish was splendid. Zero smell. Very easy to like prepare, if you will. And yeah, that, and then the the grunt, the blue striped grunt, that will actually caught delicious. And there's so much more than what's just on these lists. So there's that and then some, and that is like the greatest. I just grew up fishing, and that was always like peak human activity. Just being in the water and doing like every possible water-based thing, you know, swimming, looking for shells, fishing, cooking, and yeah. But if anybody has any tips and tricks, please never hesitate. If you have any favorite tackle or anything, or something that you remember a family member using, I am all ears, quite literally. And just have this packs, because then I can fit right in my purse. And it's got everything else I need for now. And I just can't wait to start catching things I can keep. Because right now I don't, I want to learn as much as far as IDing, so I really do like just keeping the hook moving and pulling up anything that comes up, because then I can just sear it into my mind. But right now I've been fishing really for where I'm fishing under a bridge, so like snapper, but also sand perch, because when you start getting the sand perch and hitting where they are, and you get a few of those, they're not only delicious, but really easy to prepare and acquire, but I just gotta find the flow of that, I guess. And really good at pulling up bait. A master baiter, if you want. Sabiki. Those things, the little hooks, especially if you put tiny little pieces of squid on it, it's instant. Pyramid weight, and just these tiny little hooks. They go in all shapes and sizes and shrimps. Sabiki. They're like $2. I kind of want to get there's on Amazon there's a listing of like a ton of them for $20, and I feel like that's really worth it. Like I used that last night until I had plenty, and they're such a pain to put. People usually just throw them away, but I try to get at least, you know, until all the hooks are ripped off. Sabiki. I have little shrimp ones I'm really eager to use, because I just really want to get sand perch. Anything really, obviously, but I think because right now I'm in like trials of seeing how and what tastes like what, and how to prepare blue crab. Like if you've heard of soft shell crab or fried soft shell, that's blue crab, and they're everywhere. And the permit to trap those is free for a year, so free and good for a year. But yeah, I'm sure. Oh, they're actually pom-poms. Hey, maybe that's a good area to put. I've been wanting to put the stuff that I find on the beach, the fishing line, because I think I'm trying to make it like a full-time thing. I really deeply enjoy doing stuff. And that's how you get all kinds of free tackle. Just swim for it. But that and tackle shops close pretty dang early. Way earlier than you'd expect. I guess maybe not. A lot of the good places are closed too early. But you could put it in that lamp. Those are just random pom-poms they made for various purposes. Yeah. But as you want to like I don't know, do a stream for the ocean footage, because co-block with his channel, I believe it's linked. Just got a bunch of footage of a sea turtle. I still have like a random bit of sea life stuck in my palm. It's alright. It's getting there. But a lot of really, what I think is incredible footage. Just the fact that I could take pictures and videos on there is like, I'll never subside from that high, like for real, because it's some of the most impactful like things to look at, and being submersed in, especially if you go with the tide, and the beach, you know, go when it's flat, like for like prime, and like no rip currents, and that's pretty much it. But the inlets, you have to time the tide right, and when you do, it's turquoise, like the perfect, like Sleeping Beauty turquoise. It's beautiful. But happy trails. I will probably, I don't know. I'm like incapable of planning something. It's driving me nuts.